Good day, class. So today we're going to discuss about chapter 3, how to build your methodology in a thesis. So welcome, future researchers. So today we dive into arguably the most crucial chapter of your thesis methodology. This is where you lay out the blueprint for your entire study. Think of it as giving a detailed set of instructions so that someone else could, in theory, replicate your research. It's not just about listing methods, it's about justifying why those methods are the best fit for your specific research problem and questions. We'll be drawing heavily on the foundational work of John W. Creswell, whose insights guides us through the complexities of research design. Before we build our methodology, let's quickly revisit the three major research approaches we have discussed already in our class. Remember, quantitative research often deals with numbers, statistics, and testing hypotheses, aiming for generalizability. Qualitative research, on the other hand, delves into understanding experiences, meanings, and perspectives, often using words and rich descriptions. Mixed methods, as the name suggests, cleverly blends these two to gain a more comprehensive understanding. Your choice of approach heavily influences the methodological steps you'll take. Creswell emphasizes that a research approach is built upon three interconnected pillars. First, your philosophical worldview, the fundamental beliefs you hold about the nature of reality and how we acquire knowledge. These inform your design. Second, your research design, which is the overarching plan or strategy for conducting the research. And third, your specific research methods, the actual tools and procedures you'll use for data collection and analysis. These three components work together to create a cohesive and rigorous methodology. Let's briefly touch upon the philosophical underpinnings. Your worldview shapes how you see the world and consequently how you approach research. Post-positivists believe in an objective reality that can be measured. Constructivists focus on subjective meanings that individuals create. Transformative researchers aim for social justice and change. Pragmatists are concerned with practical solutions and what works. Your chosen worldview will strongly influence your research design and methods. For example, a constructivist worldview often leads to qualitative methods. Your research design is the overall strategy or plan. Within quantitative research, you might use experimental designs, which allow you to manipulate variables, quasi-experimental designs when manipulation isn't possible, or surveys describing trends. Qualitative research offers a rich variety. Narrative, which is the stories, phenomenology, lived experiences, grounded theory, developing theories, ethnography, cultural studies, and case studies, which are in-depth analysis of a specific case. Mixed methods designs, as we delve into, offer structured ways to combine these. Your methodology section will clearly state which design you are using. For quantitative research, the methodology chapter details your survey or experimental plan. For surveys, you'll define your population and sample, the instrument you'll use, how you'll collect data, and your data analysis plan. For experiments, you'll outline participant selection and assignment, the treatment or intervention, the instruments for measurement, the procedures, and crucially, how you address threats to validity. Remember, the goal is to quantify, measure, and often generalize. When detailing your survey methodology, think systematically. Start with why a survey is appropriate. Define your population and how you'll sample it. Random sampling is ideal for generalization. Describe your instrument in detail, including its psychometric properties if it's existing. Clearly identify your variables and how they relate to your research questions. Finally, outline your data analysis steps, from descriptive statistics to inferential tests, and how you'll interpret the findings. For experimental research, precision is key. You'll detail your participants, specifying how they are selected and assigned to groups. Random assignment is crucial for true experiments. Clearly define your independent, which is the treatment, and dependent, which is the outcome variable. Describe your instruments and materials for the experiment. A clear outline of the procedures, including a diagram of your design, example, a pretest, post-test control group, is essential. Crucially, address potential threats to internal and external validity and how you'll mitigate them. Finally, outline your statistical analysis and interpretation. Now let's shift to the world of qualitative methods. Unlike the structured approach of quantitative research, qualitative methodology emphasizes flexibility and in-depth understanding. Creswell outlines key characteristic research in natural settings. The researcher, as the primary data collector, using multiple data sources such as interviews, observations, or documents, an analysis process that moves from specific details to broader themes, a focus on participant perspectives, an emergent design that can evolve, researcher flexibility, such as acknowledging one's own influence, and a holistic view of the phenomenon. Within qualitative research, you'll choose a specific design. Narrative research focuses on individual stories. Phenomenology explores lived experiences. Grounded theory aims to develop a theory from the data. Ethnography delves into cultural groups, and case studies offer in-depth analysis of specific instances. Your methodology section will clearly state your chosen design and justify why it's best fit for your research questions. Data collection in qualitative research is about immersion and rich data. Excuse me. Purposeful sampling is used, meaning you select participants or select settings that can best inform your study. Common methods include interviews, it could be structured or semi-structured, observations where the researcher is present in the setting, collecting documents, and using audiovisual materials. Your methodology will detail the specific data sources you'll use and your rationale. Qualitative data analysis is an iterative process. It typically involves organizing and reading all your data, then coding it to identify key concepts and categories. From these codes, you'll develop descriptions and themes. These themes are then interpreted to reveal the meaning. Importantly, validation strategies like member checking and triangulation are used to ensure the accuracy and trustworthiness of your findings. Your methodology will outline these steps clearly. Mixed methods research is about strategically combining quantitative and qualitative data to gain a more complete picture than either could offer alone. The rationale is to leverage the strengths of both the generalizability of quantitative data and the in-depth understanding of qualitative data. Creswell outlines key designs: convergent, collecting both concurrently and comparing; explanatory sequential, quantitative first, then qualitative to explain; and exploratory sequential, qualitative first, then quantitative to test or develop measures. Selecting the right mixed methods design is critical. Think about what you expect to achieve. Are you comparing findings, explaining quantitative results, or developing new measures? Consider how you'll integrate the data: merging, connecting, or embedding; the timing, concurrent or sequential; which dataset you prioritize; what's common in your field, and your own resources. Your methodology section will articulate this choice and its justification. In a convergent design, you collect both types of data around the same time. The key is that you analyze them separately and then bring them together, often in the discussion section, to compare and contrast the findings. The aim is to see if the quantitative and qualitative data tell a similar story or highlight different aspects of the phenomenon. This approach is popular for its straightforward integration. The explanatory sequential design is ideal when you have quantitative results that need further explanation. You start with a quantitative phase, analyze the data, and then use those findings to guide your qualitative data collection. For instance, you might identify specific groups or findings from your survey that warrant deeper exploration through interviews. The qualitative phase essentially explains the quantitative what. The exploratory sequential design reverses the order. You begin with qualitative data to explore a phenomenon, perhaps to understand the context or to develop items for a new instrument. Then you use those qualitative findings to inform your quantitative phase, such as developing a survey or testing a theory derived from initial exploration. This is excellent for developing measures specific to a particular population. To clearly communicate your mixed methods design, researchers often use specific notation. Capitalized qual or quan indicates a priority. Lowercase suggests less emphasis. A plus sign signifies concurrent data collection, while an arrow shows a sequential flow. Parentheses indicate an embedded design within a larger study. These visual cues are invaluable for explaining your complex methodology. So remember, your methodology chapter needs to flow logically, from introducing your topic and purpose to detailing your methods. Every decision, from your research approach to your specific data analysis techniques, must be justified. Clearly state your chosen design, explain your data collection procedures, and detail your analysis plan. Justification and clarity are paramount. And always remember to cite your sources meticulously, giving credit where it is due. Ethical considerations are not an afterthought. They are integral to your methodology. You must detail how you will protect your participants, obtain informed consent, ensure their privacy and confidentiality, and address any potential harm or bias. Familiarize yourselves with your institution's guidelines and any relevant professional codes of ethics. This demonstrates your commitment to responsible research. Beyond the technical aspects, good writing is crucial. Develop a habit of writing regularly. Use clear, precise language, favoring the active voice. Employ transition words and phrases to ensure logical flow between your ideas, much like the hook and eye technique. Remember that writing is a process of revision. Be prepared to draft, revise, and edit your methodology chapter until it is clear, coherent, and compelling. In summary, building your methodology is a systematic process. It starts with understanding your overall research approach and worldview, then selecting an appropriate design and detailed methods. Every choice must be justified, and ethical considerations must be woven into every step. By following these principles, you'll create a robust and convincing methodology chapter that underpins the credibility of your entire thesis. Remember, your methodology is your promise to the reader about how you will conduct your investigation.